Hey guys, welcome to the Model Citizen Podcast. We're your hosts, Hunter and Michaela. We are so excited to have you here. All right, let's dive in.
Welcome back to the pod, everyone. We might have some new listeners, by the way, like a good amount of new listeners.
But why do you say that? Because I
why
know
do you
this.
say that?
I say this because shout out to the girls who Brian works with.
Oh.
He was on a call the other day, and Brian's basically our publicist. He'll be on a call, and
truly.
if one person on the call is a listener, they'll mention the podcast usually, and then Brian will be like, "Yeah, my wife has a podcast, blah, blah, blah." And then they'll all go and look up us, and then they'll look up the podcast, and then they'll start listening.
Right.
So,
yeah.
And shout out to those girls because they said that
big shout out to those girls. We love you. Dude, yeah. I mean, listen, the thing is that since my posts go kooky crazy on Threads, I'm always like, hey, also, like I'm so being a shameless plug. I don't care anymore. I used to be I'm gonna be so grassroots with this. We're gonna be grassroots. We're gonna be guerrilla with it. We're gonna be like, oh, our little but no, every post that I do that gets steam has a podcast link underneath it, and it's been working because people are like, wait, tell me about this, link me, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, come on over, because
I think it's brilliant. I think it's just the way that things have to be like now.
This is the podcast for hot feminists who believe in civil rights, who believe in just fighting for causes and things that matter, dude. This is that fucking podcast. Now, while we're talking about that, and since we're getting political, I'm going to read you a lyric. I'm going to read you some lyrics, and I want to know your thoughts, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. It's what it do in Lou, Ice Grill Country Grammar, where the hustlers move bricks and the gangsters bang hammers. Where I got 'em, you can spot 'em on the top, on the bottom. Got a bill in my mouth like I'm Hillary Rodham.
Mm-hmm. Rosa Parks, right?
Yes, and yes,
she said that.
She did. Rosa Parks said that,
and I knew that because the moment you said, what was the first? It was
the very first thing that I said. The very first thing I said was, "It's what it do in Lou."
That part. So right when you said that, I knew
thought the
it was going to be Rosa
Country
Parks.
Grammar would have been the thing that gotcha.
No, that can kind of go anyway. But she's kind of been known to say, and she kind of always says put a bill. What did she say? Put a bill in my bottom.
But got a bill in my mouth like I'm Hillary Rodham.
Excellent lyrics.
We're not talking enough about Nelly. And now I know Nelly's kind of MAGA, and so we don't really
Oh, is he?
Well,
wait, remember when Kayla, dude, okay, this is so funny because remember when he performed in Miami randomly? We didn't talk about that enough.
We did. Well, what was there to say? Nelly was there.
I don't know, because it was so nonchalant. He was just on stage and we didn't even really clock it. It didn't really make sense. I don't know. It was just.
I know. And then when Ja Rule came out, we were all freaking out, right? And then of course 50 came out and we were all freaking out.
But that was a different time. That was last
I know
time,
that,
right?
but I'm just saying, why did Nelly go over everyone's heads?
It went over everyone's heads, but then also, did we even talk about when we were on stage with 50?
I'm pretty sure we did last year. Yeah, you guys, we talked about that, right? But here's the thing is that we're not talking about poetry enough.
Agreed. And this is poetry.
We're not
they don't make them like they do anymore.
No, they don't. I don't know what anyone's rapping about anymore. I don't know what anybody is rapping about anymore. There's too many references to TikTok.
Agreed.
There's too many take a selfie in my DMs. I'm like, I don't want that. I want you to talk about the big issues, like having a bill in your mouth like Hillary Rodham. Those are the things that matter.
And the thing is this,
we should have known, because the lyric of bill in my mouth like Hillary Rodham to MAGA pipeline we should have seen that.
Yeah,
coming.
We should have seen that one coming.
Yeah.
That one's quite literally laid out before us.
Right.
I will say it's crazy because you say the words Hillary Rodham to people and of this next generation, they'll be like, who?
You think?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Interesting. But so you think they would need to say Hillary Clinton?
Yeah.
Or do you think they're not clocking it at all?
No. Hopefully they're clocking Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
But I agree that we're not talking about poetry enough in that way because, it's dude, I'm sorry. We have, people like Lil, whoever it is.
Lil Peep?
Peep. Lil
Deep. Little
Little
weep.
peep poop.
Geep.
Okay.
Little Jeep.
Is
A little
there a
riding a
rapper who
Jeep.
you're like, this is a good lyricist?
Like Kendrick Lamar, I think, is probably the best rapper we have right now. Personally.
Agreed. No, I agree.
And to be fair, he is from the West Coast. He's from LA. So like maybe I'm biased. Like maybe I'm like, doing the about it, but I think that he is one of our greatest rappers right now. That's it. I don't know what else to say.
Okay, here's a question for you because you just did West Coast. Do you
Mhm.
think, and now take a moment, and I want you to take West Coast and East Coast out of it.
Okay.
Who has the better lyrics, Tupac or Biggie?
Well, Tupac, by far. There's no question. Did Brian ask this question? This feels like a Brian question.
Nope. The reason why I ask is because, so for Valentine's Day, we went to this thing called Candlelight by Fever. And what it was, it's a quartet. I think it's always a quartet. I'm not entirely sure. It's definitely strings and like instrumental. And the night that we went was 90s hip hop night. So they did everything from like 50 Cent to Tupac to Biggie to Lil Nas to the Fugees to everybody. And it was interesting to hear from their point of view who they thought had the best, because they kind of talked like interjected here and there, and them as a quartet band. Not that I take a white quartet band's word over anything, but I was watching the people around me, what they were kind of nodding their head to in agreement and not agreeing was that Biggie had the best lyrics and Tupac had the best beats. That was the general, because I don't know. And they played everything. They did California Love. They did a little bit. They did everything. So I was like, huh. I had to look. I was like, I wanna look into that. I don't know enough, honest to goodness, about either of them to truly make a strong statement on either.
Well, okay. And my question is, you said Lil Nas. Do you mean Nas or do you mean Lil Nas X? Because you
Sorry,
said Lil
Nas.
Nas. Okay.
Dude, I
Because
can't.
I was like, was it
that's the thing.
Lil Nas? I didn't know he was. I didn't know if he was alive during that. Here's the thing.
Wu-Tang Clan.
I think that when it comes to this conversation, I think that different rappers mean different things to different people. I think if you're speaking objectively, most people will say that Jay-Z or like Eminem are like probably tops.
Yeah.
Like top 1, 2, 3.
As far as lyricists.
Tupac and Biggie, they switch depending on who you're talking to. And then of course Kendrick is in there. Nas is definitely up there. Like people say Lil Wayne is like definitely top 5, top 10s, whatever. But like for me, I'm like, Tupac just defined so much of where we're from. Even though he's not technically from the West Coast, he's technically was born on the East Coast. It's like still, I don't know. It just is like woven into the culture here. So it's like like you like the Dodgers if you're from here. Like you don't really have choice, you know?
Right.
So officially I'm going on record as saying Tupac.
Okay. All of this to also say that if you haven't heard of this, Candlelight by Fever, it was the coolest thing ever. So like imagine listening to Wu-Tang Clan played on the violin. Like it was incredible.
Imagine
truly.
I don't want no scrubs. Scrub is a guy who can't get no love from me.
Dude, and the way that they had to, and they would do mashups.
The passenger side
of my
best friend's right, trying to holler at me.
The Wu-Tang Clan. That's the French way.
What do you think about this?
Excellent. Those are good glasses.
Like we're not really talking enough about this.
Honestly, bring those glasses back. Are those the high keys?
These are the key high keys. Absolutely.
Dude,
you know, we're also not talking enough about, since we're going to talk about 90s, we're not talking enough about these.
Agreed. Why don't you wear those ever?
I wear them all the time.
No, you don't.
You just don't see me. You don't see me like literally or figuratively.
Dude, you don't see me.
And I just want to know what your thoughts are on this.
See no evil, hear no evil. Okay?
Okay. All right. I'll take these off.
Speak no evil.
I don't want to be crazy. I don't want to be ridiculous. I'll take these off.
Entire time.
I'll take those off. But what if I did do this the entire time?
You put a monocle on?
These are rose gold. These are rose tinted. I'm wearing rose tinted glasses.
Bro. Marilyn
Pollyanna.
Manson.
Marilyn Manson.
Never. Didn't he sing something about rose-colored glasses?
Probably. I don't know, Hunter. I'm not a Marilyn Manson fan.
I'm not
Unlike
either.
you, big goth girl over here.
Dude, you look over.
It's Rose McGowan liking our posts for me, though, on our Model Citizen
I mean,
Instagram.
epic.
So if you guys aren't following us, I mean, at least we're good enough for Rose McGowan.
And Summer Walker.
And Summer Walker.
All of these people, dude. It's kind of crazy.
God, it's the baddiest of the baddies, and I've always said that. All right, let's get into our ins and outs. Do you mind?
Okay.
Does anyone care? All right, so my in, I want to go first. Me first.
You I'm first, of course.
Brains and beauty before whatever you're working with. In, all right, guys, is the Shirley Temple Olipop. Have you had this yet?
No, I haven't yet.
I don't really fuck with Olipops. I don't really like the Olipop craze. I don't like those. I don't like the poppies. I'm not big on those. But I do love a Shirley Temple. Okay.
Did you get it sent to you, or were you able to find it somewhere?
I bought it with my own money, with my own shekels. Okay. With a couple of my own rupees. I bought it myself.
Okay. And worth the hype?
So because it's good. I mean, listen.
A Shirley Temple, that's
it's
like a
not a
big
Shirley Temple. It's not a Shirley Temple.
Okay.
But like if you feel like a little something, like a little drinky poo.
What I don't like is when things are called the thing that isn't exactly the thing.
Yeah,
if it doesn't taste exactly like the thing,
sure,
or very similar,
right,
then don't call it that.
It probably should have been called Shirley Temple adjacent.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what I mean? And I think that flows right off the tongue for a good
it's Shirley Temple
drink.
Adjacent by Olipop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Shirley Temple Adjacent. It just sounds really get your mouth watering just saying it. Yeah.
My in is voice notes over like 42 text messages. I think a voice note is so good because here's the thing. You can hear the inflection in people's voices. You get to the point. Right. My phone's not dinging up a storm.
Right.
And you can just like get back to it whenever, because if you read something, that's different, I think, than hearing something. Like you can go on with your day and be like, oh yeah, and then that happened, and then I am going to respond to that, and then that's crazy that happened. Like you take it in more.
Absolutely.
You know,
there's been how many conversations have you had through text that have been so misconstrued because they just simply couldn't hear the inflection of your voice. They didn't know if you were kidding or if you were serious. Like I can't even tell you how many of those conversations I've had that have been alleviated because of voice note. Me and Holly, who she's obviously a dear friend of mine, she and I will send each other voice notes that are like 3 minutes long. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's mostly just us talking shit. So you know what I mean? I know that's probably too long.
It has to be like 1 minute, 1 minute 30. Once you get into 2-3 minutes,
I want it to be like a podcast.
Long. That's half my day.
No, I'm walking around and I'm listening to it like a podcast. My headphones are on. I'm cleaning and I'm listening to my friends' audio text. I love that.
That's true.
I love it.
That's true. Also, yeah.
So I don't know. My out this week is you not telling Hudson and Ava that I had a solo and go the distance and quiet.
I didn't know that until you texted me that last
That's
night.
not true. You absolutely knew that because you were there when I performed it. It was me and Sophie Daniels, and we did a duet, and then I had an ending solo.
Oh, it was you and Sophie Daniels?
Yeah, and you should have known that. It was us, dude. It was a performance. It was the school. It was the choir performance, and we did Disney songs, and one of the songs we did was Go the Distance, and because I'm an alto, obviously,
yeah,
I got to solo.
An alto is like what, mid-range?
Mid-range, like an Adele. I'm much like an Adele. If I was going to liken my voice, okay.
That's Ariana Grande, right?
Sure. Go ahead and be a tenor.
I go like this. Oh.
Hunter's register is between a C and a C minor.
No, dude, I go high with it.
I just find that very interesting, and you'd never have told them that I'm an alto, and I just feel like we would have a better relationship if you shared that information with them, but that's okay. And you know what? Like I said, you're preying on my downfall, and that's okay. I get it.
I am. Well, here's the thing is I can't tell them those
because
things.
I'm not on the cover of a magazine. Hunter's not going to tell them anything that I
have to keep you humble.
None of
I
my
have to keep you humble within my own family. There's one thing I have control over, and that's what my family thinks of you.
That's true.
And I don't want them thinking too highly of you.
Right. No,
so
you
I'm
definitely
never going to tell them that you're an alto.
I can tell. I can tell.
They'll never know you're an
They'll
alto.
never know
Even
I'm
when
an
you tell
alto.
them, when I put them to bed at night, I'm gonna say, remember when Auntie Kayla said today that she did a solo and that she was an alto? She was lying. Don't listen to her.
Okay,
She's
and then I'm
dumb.
gonna bust in and
She's
I'm gonna
dumb as
go,
I've always thought she did.
and I'm gonna go, and I set fire to the rain. And they're gonna be like, Mom, you lied once again. You omitted information. You told us that Auntie Kayla, you hadn't told us that Auntie Kayla had sung a solo in Go the Distance.
Like
and
I
then
said,
you lied about her being an alto.
You're more balto than you are an alto.
So an alto. And thank you for that.
Why don't you take a look in the mirror and you tell me what you resemble more.
I look in the mirror, I have 2 ears and I am
or balto. A lot of balto talk.
It's so much balto talk, dude. We are a balto podcast.
Balto. I know, we're a balto.
It hits people though in a way because they love it.
No, they love it. My out is recording strangers for content. I'm sick of it.
Recording strangers for content.
Like people being
like out and about, out in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if it's a cute, sweet moment, fine, I guess. But if it's like someone at the gym, if it's like someone doing something silly and then you're putting on your stories and you're like, or it goes viral, whatever.
Yeah. No, I agree with you 100%.
That ain't it, sis.
I agree, especially when we're already Thank you. Especially when we're already living in an absolute police state. I feel like, do we really need to be filming each other also? Like, there's a camera pointed at me 24/7. Do I need to also be recording you? Do you know what I mean?
Guys, my favorite bit that we do is if Kayla says something like off color, or if any of us do.
I don't like you saying off color, first of all, because that's going to imply I'm saying some sketchy stuff. I don't say anything off color.
Not off color, but like if you're like
if I say something sketchy.
Sketchy, or if you're like, oh my god, like what the fuck, like that shirt's fucking
right,
yuck.
Yeah, you mean like that. Like if I'm talking shit about someone.
Yeah.
And
I'll pretend to take my phone out and hold it up like I'm recording her. And I'll say, will you say it again one more time?
Yeah. Can you actually say that one more time?
Yeah. No, literally.
This is what we do.
Wait, sorry again?
Say that again. Hold on,
say that one more time. Favorite bit. It gets a laugh every time. You guys can take that one.
Between us
Take it to your friends. Yeah. Take it to your friends. That one gets a laugh.
My personal thing I've been doing a lot is saying, this is going to ruin the tour. Every time something is inconvenience.
Excellent. No, literally. Which is every time. Which is everything and every time.
Anytime that something is inconvenient to me, I've also taken to saying, bring me my bathing toaster.
What is that from?
Bring me my bathing toaster. Because if you put a toaster in a bathtub, it electrocutes you and you die. So if you are having a day and you're just like, I've had enough of today.
Bathing toaster.
Bring me my bathing toaster. Thank you.
Dude, that's an excellent.
And this is going to ruin the tour.
Chic. Yeah. That's chic.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that very much so. It is interesting. We're living in a world. And we're living in a world. And you know what? We also didn't talk about yet. Happy freaking Lunar New Year. Do you understand me happy
right now?
Lunar New Year. Yeah.
Okay. Now,
could you miss it?
Could you miss it? I wanted to. Okay.
I love Lunar New Year.
I love Lunar New Year, but I also didn't realize what goes into Lunar New Year.
It's a lot. I hope you didn't wash your hair today. A lot goes into it.
A lot goes into it that I didn't realize. So, did you realize that you shouldn't? Okay. I want to get all of this.
You shouldn't wash your hair.
Yes. How did you know?
Sweep. Because I'm a human living on Earth, and also I know everything. Okay.
Okay.
You shouldn't wash your hair. You shouldn't sweep. You shouldn't take out the trash.
You should wear red.
You should wear red, absolutely. Even if it's just like red socks or red gloves or something, just wear red because it's good luck. Don't wear black. Don't wear white because those are funeral colors. No negative talk. How you're starting this year is basically what's going to dictate the rest of the year. So how you start today.
Right. Avoid using knives, scissors. They're thought to.
Don't cut anything because it's supposed to cut. It's like, so like the sweeping and the vacuuming and stuff, that's like pushing out and like getting rid of good luck. Cutting and stuff is like cutting good luck.
Yep. Avoid arguing, crying, using negative words.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is how I live my day to day.
It's Lunar New Year all day for you, sister.
I mean, and it's the year of the horse. So it's like, happy Lunar New Year, everybody, to who celebrates.
And I think last year was the year of the snake. And so a lot of people felt like maybe if you felt like last year was extremely difficult and you felt like you were shedding a lot of painful things, a lot of maybe like friendships or relationships that were like not good for you. You had to shed that, okay, for like the year of the snake. And then the year of the horse is going to pull you forward into your future, into like a positive, you know what I mean?
I
Like it's
like that. I think everybody
I don't know. Well, obviously we're not Chinese, so we can't fully speak to it, but I do I love culture, anything, and I just
love
find
it.
that stuff very interesting. Very
I love
cool.
it, and I love that like stores like Home Goods and like World Market like have beautiful decor that celebrate Lunar
Must
New
be
Year.
nice to still have a world market. Must be nice to still have a world market in your town.
Dude,
They
I
closed
can't
ours down.
believe that's
They closed
devastating
ours
for
down.
what, an Erewhon, right?
I think so.
That is sick.
No, they closed the Amazon Fresh
for an our house.
for an Erewhon, for an our house.
Kayla, that's your name, right?
Hunter.
What? How?
May I call you Kayla?
How are people?
No, I don't want to talk about it because who's shopping at our house?
Guys, if you
you're
guys are
shopping at
more
our
than
house,
$100 on furniture, what do you do for work?
Don't understand it. I don't understand how we could possibly
if you're
be
buying
doing that.
$9 strawberries, what do you do for work? Are you a lawyer?
I mean, literally. I mean, to be fair, I posted about door dashing 2 days in a row. And everyone was like, what are you, a billionaire?
I know, dude.
And I was like, listen, it was $12.
What, for the delivery fee?
It was for 2 delivery fees. It was $12. Because I purposely choose the ones that are like cheap. Yeah, okay, so $4 or $5 for tip. Okay, so it's like 20 something dollars. But still.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
For peace of mind?
For peace of mind and to be able to get like food that's like made, and you guys know I'm in my Sweet Green era, so it's like that's what I'm getting.
Yeah,
I can't make that at home. Oh my
god,
you can't just go and buy kale anywhere, any old where.
That's true.
And sweet potatoes, you can't just buy them at the store.
No, dude, that's like a special ticket item. It's like a high ticket
special ticket. And there's probably tariffs on them.
Guys, if you are even near New Jersey, I need you guys to go to Stacy's Sandwich Shop in Verona, New Jersey, because when I tell you, they have, bro, I like stumbled across it because I went in to talk to this guy about getting a chair upholstered anyways. And I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll get like a sandwich, whatever. I walked in and everybody had these massive, I would say they're like 14 inches, which is like about the size of my
dicks.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Yes. Big, massive wieners. And then what else was there?
Every single person in there had this sandwich. And I was like, what's going on in here? I was like, is this like a simulation? Because they sold other sandwiches. And I go, what is the sandwich everyone's having? And she was like, oh, this is the chicken Caesar salad sandwich with the cutlet. And I said, okay, that. Bro,
I'll have that. Thank you.
Here's the thing. It was the greatest sandwich I've ever had in my entire life. And and they went viral on TikTok and on Instagram for it.
Is it better? It's better than the Whole Foods sandwich?
Oh my God. It blows the Whole Foods sandwich out of the water. I know.
Wow.
I know.
Better than a number 7 from Jersey Mike's with some chips in it, with some Doritos inside of it.
With some oil and vinegar.
Is it better than that? Would you say?
Blows it out of the water.
Okay, all right.
Dude, the bread alone would be it for me.
And this is places in Verona.
Guys, Verona. Stacy's Sandwich Shop. Check it out. They went viral. They let me know. Okay. And everybody was in there. I know a good sandwich shop when like the young girls are in there. They're all in their hoodies. They have their little mini micro Uggs and they're in there and they're eating their sandwiches. And you know that it's good because they're not eating that sandwich because they want to. They want to take a video of it.
Right. Now, the thing about, you say mini Uggs and it's funny. I feel like Uggs are getting at once smaller and shorter and flatter
larger.
And also bigger, larger and higher at the same time.
Here's the thing. The soles are 6 inches.
The soles are 6 inches or they're negative into the ground. You walk and you go down into the ground because I feel like 2 sometimes You can't, you either have so much platform if you're Gen Z, you either have so much platform or there is nothing between you and the dirt.
Yes.
Nothing.
Yes. And
It's
it's either a
chuggy to
micro.
wear like a regular soled shoe
It's either a micro where
or a
it's like
macro.
just the covering of your little Tootsie Toes. Like they'll be
Mhm.
like, this is the new mini micro itty bitty ant
Right.
Uggs for
Right.
ant. These are made for ants, but we're gonna offer them to the public.
Right.
And that's the
Exactly.
one that goes viral and everyone wants.
Sure.
And
Yep.
no one can get their hands on. And it
Nope, you
covers
never can.
un toe.
Untoe.
And it has a sole that is about 3.5 feet.
Right.
And then the opposite is they call it the lug.
The lug.
The lug.
What does the L stand for? Long?
It's just a big ass Ugg.
Okay. So it's a Larry big lug. Basically.
Thank you.
It's a Larry lug.
lug.
Okay. Got it. Trends are interesting. I saw a reel recently from this woman who she was shopping at Target and she was in the women's section, I believe. And first of all, this is what you get for shopping at Target. Second of all, she was at the women's and I guess Target is now selling like booty short, like jean shorts, like super short, like booty short jean shorts.
Oh my god.
And they were in the women's section. So it's an interesting conversation about like grown women can wear whatever they want. Like you can absolutely wear whatever you want. I probably need to do some research on like if those are truly just in the women's section or if they've got them kind of like slowly, trickling into that teen area, because that would cause some concern for me personally.
Surely they're in the teen area. Have you seen, Kayla, when's the last time you went and drove by a high school?
I don't make a habit of it.
But like during let out, like here's the thing. Here's what the girls are wearing.
Yeah, I know.
They're wearing shorts that are so short, the butt is out. Okay.
I know.
Now wear what you want, but like, please. Or they're wearing pajamas.
Wear what you want, but also at the end, I don't feel like, and here's the thing, and it actually is interesting because I did want to touch on this today. So, and it's like, I don't want to get dark with it all. And I don't want to like bring anything down or whatever. But like, obviously with the exposure of a lot of these very wealthy men who have been in charge of Victoria's Secret. This is all alleged. Okay. They've been in charge of like Victoria's Secret, Abercrombie, Limited 2. We have seen that these men who are in these files shaped so much of our self-image as young girls. Mm-hmm. And we grew up with like I would see the short shorts on girls and be like, I want those. Like those look sexy. And I would be like 12 and it would be available to me. And that's fucking weird to me that was available to me. And then when I couldn't fit in them, I was like, oh, this is a me problem. It's a me. It's my body. It's not your body at all. It's these guys are fucking creeps. And they want you to feel wrong or too big because you stopped looking and being a little girl, a little child. Does that make sense? Like, do you know what I'm saying? And I don't know. It just like, it's all just like a weird comment. Like all of like the clothing being in like the styles and the trends being so dictated by these men who have been found to be literal pedophiles is like allegedly have been alleged to be pedophiles. It's just like so. It's so, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, I hope if you're listening to this, I hope that you can look back at this time and the way that maybe you were forced to see your body through the lens of just these like disgusting old men. And if you're a millennial or you're a Gen Xer, like if you can, your body was being judged through the lens of these disgusting old men who were pedophiles and they wanted us all to look like little pubescent children. And think to yourself, it was never me. It was never my body. Like this should have never been available to me. Like these short shorts and these like little weird things and these like, you know what I mean? Like even you talk about how sometimes you'll go get Ava clothes and it's like little tiny bikinis and you're like, what the fuck,
every
bro?
single
like
one of her. So like so insane. I'm like, "Can we just have like, I just want her to have the same length shorts as Hudson has." And
Right, right.
it doesn't exist. Like, they're all
No.
so short, and then it'll be, like, little teeny tiny, like, bikini tops, and it's like, even that makes me uncomfortable, like, seeing these little girls in bikinis, like, I'm like, "Ugh, what are you doing?" I don't know. And part of me is like, is it because it's uncomfortable, or is it because of the men who made it
That's
uncomfortable?
why. It is that. It's because the men made it
And
uncomfortable.
it's like there's so much rooted in that, and there's so much ingrained in that, and then I
Yeah,
think, if we grew up thinking, "Oh, it's fine, she's just wearing short shorts, like, her butt's hanging out, it's fine," we probably wouldn't
yeah,
think anything of it, like, if no
right.
one made it creepy and made it
Well, and
a
also
weird thing.
if I hadn't gotten 10 times more attention at 12 as a 12-year-old girl from men than I do now in my 30s, that would probably not have even registered in my brain. But because I did, and because I thought that I grew up thinking that one of the best things you could get is attention from a man.
Yeah.
Because we live in such a we grew up in such a male-centered universe, and I think that I wasn't personally clocking it when I was young. I thought it was like, "Oh, I'm so pretty," and that's why they're paying attention to me, and it was like, pretty or not, that literally has nothing to do with it. It's the fact that you are a young girl and these men are fucking sick.
Yeah.
And I remember like dressing for that attention and like, because that's what I thought was like the best thing you could do. And the best thing that was the highest compliment is like if an older guy,
Yeah.
was like hitting on you or something. Like that's literally what we
No,
grew up
it's
thinking.
sick, I know. It's
Like, I don't
disgusting.
know if that's controversial. I don't know if this is like I feel like other women have experienced this, but it's like when you grow up getting more attention as a young kid, it's like then you start thinking like, well, what made me think that? What in God's green earth made me think that was what I was supposed to be doing? And it just all starts to unravel once you start seeing like who's in these
I
files
know.
and all of that, you
I
know.
know. It's really, like, and it's interesting because it's like when you look at these things and you think, "Okay, if all of these people who were allegedly in this were prosecuted,
Mm,
the system would crumble,"
yeah.
which is scary. And
Yeah.
the system needs to crumble. Like, it
Mhm.
needs to happen then. You know what I
If the
mean?
system and the government would fall because all of these people get prosecuted, then it needs to fall,
And then it
you
needs
know?
to fall. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but, like,
Especially for this next generation of girls, like, I'm like, we need to just do whatever needs to happen to protect them,
yeah.
to the survivors, we need to protect them, to the young girls that even young girls now, even girls our age, like, this is the thing is, like, my heart also always goes out to millennials and Gen Xers, like, we grew up looking and thinking, that our bodies were wrong and bad, and the second you got hips or boobs, like, you were, quote, unquote, "fat" in, like, a
Yeah.
derogatory way, and it's like, why did we grow up thinking that? What was telling us that narrative? And it's like, oh, all these men who wanted us to continue looking like little children. So
I mean,
being
yeah.
completely shaved, like being completely bare everywhere, like
I
being
know.
like underdeveloped, like or not developed yet. All of those things that were something that the world and the media and the beauty industry made us think we had to be and we had to conform to. You kind of look back and you're like, oh, I know why you wanted us to do that now.
Yeah.
It's all clicking and it makes me fucking sick, frankly. And y'all know, like, we've talked about certain brands on here that we don't fuck with, and we're going to continue to not fuck with them because, especially when things like this are coming out, you start realizing, like, oh, yeah, this is so much worse than even we thought it was.
Yeah.
And I just hope that any women who listen to this podcast, if you were, like I said, a millennial, a Gen Xer, somebody who grew up thinking that your body, once it started developing, was somehow bad or wrong or too big or whatever, you realize that your self-image was literally being puppeteered by men who wanted you to keep looking like a little child.
Right. Yeah. Do you think I think this is such an interesting conversation because, um, have you heard about the America's Next Top Model,
Mhm.
documentary?
Yeah, I haven't
Have you
gotten around
watched?
to watching it, but
Okay.
I want to though, for sure.
I'm curious to know your thoughts.
Okay.
Maybe we put a pin in this and come back to it,
Yeah.
but I'm curious because obviously a lot of it has to do with everything that went on during that
Yeah.
time, which is this time
Right.
you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I think a lot of people are putting, and we've talked about this a little bit before, but and a lot of people are putting like the blame on, Tyra Banks and all this stuff. So, um, but she's in the documentary herself. She has a
Yeah.
sit down,
And
and
she's in a trench coat for some reason.
listen,
Why is she in a trench coat?
I don't know because she
That's
looks.
my biggest question. All the screen grabs of her, she's in a trench. I'm like,
I think she's in the trench the whole
it's
sit
incredible.
down,
An incredible
but
dedication to the vibe.
but part of me is like,
Have you watched it?
yes, I've watched. I
Oh, the
have
whole
not
thing?
finished it. No, 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 I
Oh,
haven't
okay.
finished it.
Okay. Well,
But
what
I
are
think
your
that
thoughts on it?
well, that's what I'm getting at. So
Okay.
I think that part of me is like, there's so it's so nuanced
It is.
because this was a time where, like we were just saying, we just thought that's what it was. Like we were supposed
Yeah.
to look like that. That's what a model looked like. That's what
Right.
there was no other. And we've talked about this before, but like we didn't know because there was
Mhm.
no other. So how
Sure.
would we know?
Absolutely.
How would I know that, the sky is blue if all I ever see is green? Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like you just don't.
Right.
And so it's like, part of me is like, well, this is so fucked up and like, how
Yeah.
dare? But then part of
Yeah.
me is like, we didn't know because we didn't have.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like, so it's like, yes, take accountability, absolutely, and be like, yeah, the
Mhm.
shit that like I've said and the stuff that happened, but also I was a product of my environment and of what
Mhm.
raised me up and
Yeah.
what I
Absolutely.
thought was to be true because everyone was affirming that and because society wasn't different then. Society was how we all saw it point blank. Only in
Yeah.
the last, 15, 10, maybe even 15 years have we opened the can and said, hey, let's take a look at this. And why can't things be different? And why
Yeah.
is the beauty standard so whacked? And why is this all so fucked up? Like, only then have we been able to say, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's take a moment and put this all up and see, oh, yeah, this is pretty effed up, you
Yeah.
know? And so
Right.
it's like I always say, like, when you know better, you do better.
Mhm.
Um, it's like I used to be so upset at the people who, when I first started modeling would be like, "Oh, like you're too big. You're too big. You can't." But now I've come to the realization like they didn't know, but there was no that was what it was.
That's what it was.
That's what the
Yeah.
parameters were, you know?
Right.
And, like,
Yeah.
that's fucked up. This the society that built this is fucked up, and the people who
Completely.
kept affirming it. You know what I
That's the
mean?
part that part is really important too, because I think that hopefully people have seen now what very wealthy, powerful men can achieve and the punishment that they can, rain down on people that aren't falling in line. And I think that if people understood I hope people do now, but if you understood just how much pull these powerful, wealthy men have, and they had years ago, they were running these companies, they were running these networks, and it was you comply or you're never working in this town again. It's very that. And it's still
Mhm.
very that in the industry. It can be very that. And we know from like just being in it for our whole lives, it can be very much you do this or you will not be working anymore.
Yeah.
Or we will slander your name or we will, whatever. And I think a lot of it came from fear. I think a lot of it came from just complying because it was like, well, this is just what it was. And this is the thing. It took all of the plus models like you, who, Candace Huffine, all of those ones who came before, who were able to really smash that ceiling and say, no, we're going to give people that representation that they need. This is why representation, this is why we always talk about inclusivity and representation, even though I know it's not the cool, hot topic anymore. I know it's not the thing that all the brands are, it's not the wagon all the brands are jumping on anymore. But this is why this is so important and why
Yeah.
it continues to be so important because of the damage it does is lasting and it's so impactful.
Do you
And look at
feel
this is years, this is decades after this show, and we're still dealing with
I feel like we
a lot
got,
of
like, a
that.
little glimpse of what could be, and then the powers that be were like, no, 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 put that top back on.
Absolutely.
Let's put all that back in a can. We're gonna put the top back on. Back to the 90s. Okay. We're not gonna
Mhm.
talk about it. Like, I literally feel like we got like a little chunk of what could be as far as inclusivity and diversity. And then it just gone. And it's
Well, there's
funny.
also sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's funny that like when I see someone who's posting something who's plus size, um, and they're visibly plus,
Mhm.
it it's like a thing in my brain goes off where I'm like, "Oh, that's refreshing," because I feel like I'm not seeing
Mm,
that anymore. I'm not
right,
seeing people who are just, like, living in their bodies. I'm not seeing people in swimsuits anymore. I'm not seeing stretch marks anymore. I'm not seeing these things anymore, and when I do, it stops me in my tracks, and that's
yeah,
insane because a year ago, it would be all over my feed, and it would be
right,
celebrated, and everyone would be talking about it, and how sad is that?
right. Well, and I also think there's 2 things. One, I think a lot of creators got burnt out on having to talk about their bodies, and I think there is something there. It's like you do kind of stop it's like a listen, the world is going to try and make you a product as much as it possibly can. It is going to try and make you the product. And I feel like that's kind of what started happening is it started turning the movement from being inclusivity, from positivity to, okay, now your body is our product and we're going to sell your body. And now you have to talk about your body and you have to sell the product 24/7. I think people got fucking exhausted from that. And it's because I don't want to say sell out, but it's a little bit what happens when you sell out. When you start to lose the vision and the reason for why you were doing what you were doing, and you're just taking brand deals. And then all of a sudden you're putting your body out there with all the stuff and all of the brand deals and stuff. And then you're like, wait, why do I feel like a commodity? It's because,
Yeah,
babe, you are a commodity. You turned yourself into a commodity. Not you turned yourself. Really, it's like the powers that be turned you into a commodity because they're so incredibly good at doing that. I also think that there's a discussion about, and I've seen this a lot online, when you are entering in a fascist regime, which we are, um, they will try and make lack of nutrition a chic, cool thing so that it can excuse and so it can kind of make you turn a blind eye to what's going on. And
mhm,
sorry, my phone's going off. Does that make sense? Like
yeah,
it
yes,
starts to sort of be like, "Hey, it's so chic and so cool to be super skinny and be underfed and undernourished," which is great because we don't have any food for you guys anymore. So this is
right,
perfect.
right.
Do you
Food's
know what
gonna
I
be so
mean?
expensive, you won't even need but
Food's
it's
so
great because you
expensive.
don't
Who
even need
needs
it.
food?
Yeah,
You don't even need food. What do you need food for? You shouldn't be eating. You shouldn't be
yeah,
eating. You should all be so tiny. Everyone make yourself smaller and also make yourself weaker. Now, I'm not
yeah.
saying that it's not like there's a lot of nuance there, but I do think that this is a conversation that needs to be had is that when you
I
have
mean, dude,
a
yeah,
a power that be that comes in and wants if there is a fight being had, they want you to be weak. They want you to be underfed.
yeah.
This is a typical war tactic. Starve them out, you know?
It's like, dude, when you sent me that thing that a girl that you know had posted the other day, it was very jarring to me, and I can't stop thinking about it. It was,
Yeah.
I don't wanna mention it out and about, but it was
Yeah.
something about a very strict diet.
Yeah.
And I can't stop thinking about that. Like, I cannot stop
I
thinking about
know.
that, like but that's just one of many that I keep seeing is just like and then the accolades underneath, I'm like,
Mm,
jeez. I hope that we get back to this place of acceptance, and I hope that we look back at this time and go, "Oh my god, remember when we almost went back?
right. Well,
Remember
I
when we
think
almost
again,
went
it's
but we
like
just caught it in time?" Like, I'm
we
hoping.
just got it. Well, it's kind of like we always you like the devil, you know better than the devil you don't know. And I think a lot of us grew up with this mentality about
Yeah, it's
body and
easier to
body
do that
image.
and to
It's
wanna
so much
change yourself,
easier.
you know?
Absolutely. It's so much easier to want to revert back to that. And I see it all the time. I see women that are just so older women, especially like women that are like, the boomer generation. they want to be stuck in that so bad. They are so comfortable
Yeah.
in their disordered eating and their commentary about women's bodies. Like some of the worst comments I've ever had have been through from older women.
Oh,
And
same.
I'm like, girls, ladies, women, what are we doing? We're trying to bring you out of this hell that you've been in. And you guys just want to stay in it. You
Yeah.
want to stay trapped in this mental fucking nightmare of being so focused on your body and everyone around you's body and commenting on it. And it's just like, at one point I'm like, fine, that's fine. You guys are fine. But we got to at
Yeah.
least make it better for the next gen, you know, the next
Dude, you know, I'm
several
not going to
generations.
stop until, you know, the thing is like, I'm raising a daughter in this day and age. I'm raising a son.
Yeah.
And like, that's my duty. My personal duty is like making this world better, especially when it comes to like how we view other people, other humans,
Yeah.
how we speak about other humans,
Yep.
how we speak to ourselves, all of that, you know? And it's fun. You know, what's funny is that, last night Brian was sitting on the floor and he was kind of bending over, stretching his lower back. And Brian has stretch marks all on the side of his back. He like one summer just got super, super tall. So he had stretch marks all over his back on the sides and his like flanks. And Hudson goes, "What are these stripes? What is this stripes right here? You have some marks here. What's it from? Scratches or what is it?" And and Brian was like, "It's stretch marks, like that, because I got really, really tall one summer." And he never has pointed mine out.
Interesting.
And like he had kind of like when he was younger been like, what it like looking at them, but never being like, is that like, are you okay? Like, is it? So it's just interesting for once to be like, oh, I'm at like, yeah, daddy has them too, you know?
Right. No, that is really interesting.
Yeah. I was like, yeah.
Daddy's got him.
Yeah. And it was so
Daddy's
just like,
big bone.
yeah, that's what we have.
Yeah. This is just
skin.
Yeah, it's just skin, guys. I know. And can you imagine, like, that is his first time understanding, you know, my dad having like something on his body that we for some reason make into a bad thing.
I know.
And you could have made it could have been like, oh, daddy's got stretch marks, like I'm trying to get rid of them, you know, or like I use this stuff to get rid of. It's like that could so have impacted like Hudson's entire who knows, you know. So whatever, all of that to say, you just got to be so careful. You got to be careful these days, guys. Like you just don't know what's listen, every day something comes out and I'm like, what the
Lord,
fuck
I know.
is happening? But you know, you won't hear any of that bullshit from this podcast.
Nope.
I'll tell you that.
We hope you can find some solace, some levity, and some silly goose times over here on the Model Citizen podcast. Thank you for hanging with us today.
Some goosery in this dancery.
That's right, dude. Some goosery in this dancery.
Got a bill in my mouth like Hillary Rodham. And I'll leave you guys with that.
Thank you. Poetic as fuck,
you guys.
Dude. Bye.
Bye. Thank you guys so much for listening. You can catch a new episode of Model Citizen every Thursday. And please don't forget to follow the podcast so you don't miss any of the action. We want to hear from you, so please leave a rating and review and follow us on socials for all the behind-the-scenes action at Hunter McGrady and Michaela McGrady. And don't forget, you are worthy, you are loved, and you are capable of doing all wonderful things. Bye, guys.